Welcome to Blade HQ, everybody. Today is November 17th, 2025, and it is another beautiful Monday for new knives. Good to see you all. A lot of people talking about Thanksgiving. We are pumped. I was just telling the guys over here that I'm more excited for the gravy I'm gonna make than I am for the turkey I'm gonna make. I gotta say, a good quality gravy, it just makes Thanksgiving. You gotta make a lot of it. People like take shots of it. What's up from Los Angeles? Hey buddy, how you doing? What's up from Pleasant Grove, Utah? Yeah, man, a lot of stuff about Thanksgiving. So last year I learned something about myself, and it's something that I'm ashamed of. And that is, I just don't care for pie. Just don't really do it. It's kind of a sad thing. It's a good news day. I got my Umnum Zahn delivered today. That is a good day. I wish I had an Umnum Zahn being delivered today. Based gravy is greater than turkey. And Miller, I'm there. George got my ZT0203 from the bargain bin, and it's awesome. Yeah, Travasaurus Rex, really great pickup there. Captain Ricky, you're here. And he says he's feel betrayed. Captain Ricky, we haven't eaten pie together. And I definitely haven't eaten a pie you've made. Not even pumpkin pie. Like Syrinx, especially pumpkin pie. Yeah. Hi from Mapleton. Good to see you from Mapleton, not too far. Hi, George. Hi from SoCal, home of the Tanto PM2. Rex, you're okay. There it is. It's here now. Hey, George, long time no see. I really got the confirmation of a sponsor and a new knives to pair with my suit. Yeah, Average Mountain Biker, welcome back, dude. Chosen a confirmation sponsor. I need a few knife options to pair with my suit. Okay, so for a fancy dancy knife option, right now, honestly, this is one that's a pretty solid. This is a solid titanium S35VN. It's real dressy, but also real tactical, I might say. Kind of has a combat knife vibe. That's a solid one. There's a ton of titanium stuff on sale right now. So if you're on a budget, there's a lot of stuff there, but it's hard to go wrong with like a Chris Reeve or something to pair with a suit. Got a Pro-Tech Malthoop from Blade Show West with the one with red dragon scales. Grady, that's a pretty sweet knife. I missed it. Or Oreo pie. Okay, if you add Oreos to stuff, I'm gonna have a hard time saying no. Okay, Ricky, cheesecake is the bomb. I will eat cheesecake anytime and anywhere, so long as it's like good cheesecake. I have never had a no-bake cheesecake that I thought was worthy of its existence, but I've never had a proper cheesecake that was like not bad, but not amazing, I should say. I love cheesecake, and my wife had gestational diabetes this last time around, and the doctor said basically like, cool it on sugar, and by the way, cheesecake especially is like min-maxed to cause problems with gestational diabetes. So no touching cheesecake. So she had a baby on a Monday morning, and Monday night, she had a giant plate of pasta and cheesecake for dinner, and it was there. The doctor, cheesecake is mid, that's fine, more for me, bro. I'm just fine with that. Ask Mote to bake a cheesecake. I mean, I could ask, I don't think he'll do it. George, how many of the gold class bug outs did you guys have at the Utah store? We had 5 of them. Did they all sell?
I believe so.
Yeah, they sold pretty quick. You know, to go cheese tasting in Heber. I actually got to so I was a public relations major, and for my case studies class, we did a thing about urban growth in Wasatch County, Utah. And we went to Heber, and we went to Heber Valley Cheese. That's where I get my cheese curds when I make poutine. It's like a 30-minute drive from my house, not bad. Kids like to see the cows. But it was very interesting. It's like a dairy that has all these cattle, but all around it is McMansions. And it's a bit of a problem for housing affordability, especially for the generational farmers who've lived there and just sold cheese to keep the lights on. But everything's getting more expensive up there. The moral of the story is if you got to move to Utah, Wasatch County is probably going to be one of your more competitive options. But honestly, all of Utah is pretty competitive right now. Like my uncle lives in Monticello. And I thought, maybe I'll move to Monticello one day. And then I looked at house prices and I'm like, what the heck? Monticello's in the middle of nowhere. And he says, yeah, it's an hour from Moab. And everybody wants to turn their house in Monticello into an Airbnb for some Moab Jeep head. And it's out of control. You ever seen people mixing Cinnabons and cheesecake? I mean, I'd be into that. That sounds pretty yummy. Nice hoodie, George. Thanks, EDC Associate. I got it when I was up in Portland earlier this year. I actually bought it with my own money, which is pretty awesome. Sometimes it feels good to buy something. Running the good cheese people out of town. It's really sad. Their cheese is bomb. They have a bunch of different flavors of cheese curds, and once they had, I think it was like pepper jack cheese curds. So good. And then I went to Culver's and they had fried cheese curds, and it was basically a mozzarella stick, but on crack. And I'm like, I need to do some of those pepper jack cheese curds deep fried. That sounds incredible. Yeah. Hey, how are the sales going for the Advanced Knife Bros new knife? Sorry to interrupt the Golden Girls cheesecake talk. Sorry, Mike. We'll keep it knife related. That is what Blade HQ is all about. So far, the sales seem to be going pretty well. I think the berry one is the one that people are most interested in, and I'm surprised the yellow one. I know that the banana sort of thing is very much the Advanced Knife Bro way. But yeah, as with most influencers designed knives, they generally have a pretty solid bite at the very beginning, and we're really excited about it. And he's just so great to work with, and his designs are such a throwback. Love it. Yeah, their bacon jalapeno is incredible. Yes, okay, we gotta leave the food talk away. Thanksgiving is coming, guys. It's just a week away. Yeah, talking about all this food makes me hungry, yep. Hey, have you heard of the DEF CON Raptor? I thought of buying it because of frame locks and the wave opener. I'm also left-handed and the price is pretty tempting. Any advice on it? So DEF CON, I'm having a hard time picturing that knife in my head, but is DEF CON the sort of budget tactical line from Fox? Because I will tell you, I've been pretty impressed with some of that stuff, and they have these like double-sided throwing knives that have been haunting me for like a year. I just got to do it. Yes, George, what's the best knife on the table to cut cheese with? Okay, I'll play this game. Cheese tends to bind up pretty hard, so you're probably not going to want something thick. Oh yeah, it's going to be this guy. Your Bill Moran Upswept is going to be your cheese knife on the table. Yeah, I don't think I have a better option than that. I think the only thing that might compete is this Civivi. Got to remember its name. Noctis. That one might also do pretty well with that tall flat grind, but I think I'm still taking Spyderco. Cheese. I watch a fair bit of Pete from Cedar Canada Gear and Outdoors, and he does a lot of cheese slicing as a means of showing edge geometry and how thin behind the edge. What I've learned about him is he tends to prefer slicier knives, something super thin, and that's why he loves TRM. If we had a TRM on the table, that'd be your cheese knife, hands down. They are slicey as can be. Yeah. Y'all doing anything at headquarters at Thanksgiving for the employees? Well, we're taking the day off, and then we're all coming to the hailstorm of Black Friday thereafter. So we're gonna have a video coming out on Black Friday, and afterwards on Cyber Monday, we're gonna have a live just like this one. We're gonna talk about some of the amazing deals going on. And yeah, that's I gotta say, when you work in a retail space like we do, the holidays are pretty wild. And we're more excited for them to be over than for them to be here. Yep, it's a folding karambit with a ball bearing action, titanium pocket clip. It's also reversible. I will tell you, karambits I've learned are a bit divisive. There are some people who love them, swear by them. Doug Markida is one. He talks about how his everyday carry knife, he's like, I love it, and his classic line is, that point comes out and I hold it like this and it says, put me in, coach, and it wants to open the box and everything. It is a very good tactical knife, which is why I think Doug likes them so much, but they also are a bit fragile in the tip sometimes, and they have a bit of a look to them that isn't quite to the taste of a lot of folks out there. I will say, I think there are too many people who are apt to call names in the knife community. Say, oh, you carry that knife, that means you're a mall ninja, or you're a space cadet, or you're into safe queens, or whatever. That people say all kinds of things. But honestly, if it's a knife that you like and you're gonna carry, it's the best knife for you, period. Because some knife is better than no knife. EDC Associate, what did I carry today? Today I've got my Big Idea Design Lookout. And this one's got the black anodized titanium scales my buddy Andrew did for me, and a little monkey fist lanyard on it. I really like this knife. I've been carrying it a lot. I've been really trying to carry pocket fixed blades because next year I'm carrying just the buck range for the whole year, and I'm realizing that means no fixed blades. So I'm trying to get good and sick of fixed blades this year, but the problem is I'm getting more and more into them, and I'm like, don't make me give my fixed blades away. So I might have to do some kind of a challenge for a fixed blade the following year. We'll see. Captain Ricky, preach, George, go off. Thanks, buddy. I like the knife, wish it was bigger. Yeah, that is a real thing. Sometimes you just have a big cutting job to do. And Ricky might actually know this. I feel like Big Idea Design just came out with something akin to the overlooks the folder. Ricky, what is it? Tell them in the comments, what is the slightly bigger EDC fixed blade that Big Idea Design just came out with? It's a Nitro V USA made knife. I'm sure he's got it for you. Yes, love the pocket fixed blade. Haven't been able to carry one myself on the daily. Cody Cummings, just give it out a try sometime. I've learned that it's a bit of a mod process. One thing I really do appreciate about this particular one is its pocket sheath right out of the box is ready to go. But most of the time, like if you have a sheath like this is going to be a bit of a job to turn into a pocket sheath. But basically anything from Big Idea Design in the fixed blade department is going to be really nice and easy to carry right out of the box. The Signal, thank you, Ricky. Ricky's a champion, love that guy. I'm looking to get a Worksharp RMX Tanto. What do you think of them? It's super thin, will it hold up? So Sarah actually has one, and I've been tinkering around with it. It's a really great knife. They make them out of 3V, and 3V is tough as nails. In fact, I'd wager it's probably tougher than most nails because most nails are using like a fairly mild steel. But you could beat the tar out of that stuff and it will keep coming back for more. So I would say it's not something you need to worry about. It will give you similar toughness to thicker knives of stainless steels, but you're gonna get the slicing performance of a thin blade, which is really awesome. Mads Bragger, quick question, what's your favorite Crewwear or 3V? Mine is definitely 3V. I honestly, I don't have enough experience with 3V to tell you. I've owned a 3V knife and I traded it away. But I will tell you, Crewwear is found on one of my favorite fixed blades ever, which is the ZT4. And I got that one this year and I have loved it. George, what is my favorite fixed blade? My favorite fixed blade of all time is the Lion Steel M4. It is so good. Okay. Is Ricky yelling at me now? I don't know. I see Sarah defending me. Best manager ever, by the way. If y'all can work for Sarah T-Tech someday, do it. Follow her on LinkedIn or whatever, because seriously, GOAT manager. Anyway, should we talk some new knives? We've been going for too long here. All right, so I'm gonna fall silent for half a second. We're gonna go through this video like Chad isn't here, and then I'll come back at the end. I just realized there's a lot of knives to talk about. This is gonna be fun. Do I need to ditch the hoodie? No, it's too late. Okay, let's do this. Welcome to Blade HQ, everybody. Today is November 17th, 2025, and we have a ton of new knives to talk about. So we'll jump right in, starting with our sponsor of Vosteed Knives. Vosteed's one of our favorite brands at Blade HQ just because of how really interesting they are in the way of design. So here we have two. We have the Naga and the Psyop 299, and that's because it's the 2.99 inch, so a bit smaller than the regular Psyop. But both of these are very distinctive designs, but they're also very familiar and very usable. And they're all available at really good prices, especially for the materials they use and for the mechanisms they use. What I know most about Vosteed is they were one of the first to jump on the expiration of the top liner lock patent. So now you can get a top liner lock, which gives you the crisp detent you love out of a liner lock, but also the functionality of a button lock and the fidgetability of a button lock. It's just top marks all the way around. We love Vosteed here at Blade HQ, and we are absolutely thrilled that they sponsored this episode. And that sponsorship means that we are giving these away in the live at noon Mountain Standard on Monday the 17th. You want to get on these giveaways every single Monday, be here at noon. So we'll see you next week. Also, we are doing another giveaway this week of this guy. This is a absolutely stunning Pro-Tech Cambria 2. We got solid steel handles on this guy, a Magna Cut blade, a button lock action, and this beautiful blue carbon fiber inlay. This is an absolute grail knife of a piece. How do you win it? You click the link in the description and you join the SMS group. So that'll allow us to send you texts, regular messaging rates apply, etc. But this one is going away to a lucky winner. This is the last week to enter, so I'd recommend entering sooner than later. Now, first new knife on the table is this guy, the GM13 from Giant Mouse. This is a crossbar lock with a titanium handle and a brass backspacer and an S90V blade with kind of this S-curve hawkbill kind of blade. And this thing is a piercing machine. And because it has that S-curve, not only do you get this really needle-like tip, but you also get decent belly here. So if you need to do some slicing work, it really works well. And a cool thing about S-curves like this is if you start a slice and then you drag through, it kind of hits a bump and then it hits the spike, and it's almost like one giant serration. So it chews through things really well too. It's a bit out there looking, but you should try cutting with a knife like this one day. It just glides through stuff. This guy goes for $375. It gets you a 2.8 inch blade of S90V steel. And 3 ounces in weight, which for a solid metal knife like this really is pretty light. A nice EDC knife and a very well done piece by Giant Mouse. Next up from Jack Wolf, we have a new slip joint. This one is from the more budget-friendly series they have. This one's called the Equal End, and it kind of gives you that cigar pattern. Has a nice shield inlay on the front and a 14C28N blade with a very robust half stop. This is my personal favorite style of slip joint. It just slips in and out of the pocket very easily. It lends itself to a lot of different grip styles. It's just a classic piece, and I love that Jack Wolf is bringing us one, especially at this price. These are going for $69.99, and for a 2.75-inch blade of 14C28N, it's going to be a great EDC knife for whatever cutting jobs you got to do. I think that they did a really good job here. It comes in a bunch of different handle flavors, so whatever you're into, you could probably find. And most Jack Wolf knives do tend to sell pretty quick, so I would jump on those sooner than later. Next up from Civivi, we have the Noctis. And this one is a crossbar lock, which we are starting to see a few more of coming out of Civivi after the first one they ever did, which was the Yonder a little while ago. This one's got a full flat ground blade of Nitro V steel. It's 3 inches. This one's got the micarta up. There's a few different flavors over at bladehq.com, and a fully ambidextrous lock with a reversible pocket clip. So however you want to carry this knife, it's got inlaid screws, recessed screws and a recessed clip. So it's going to be in and out of the pocket super easy. And then a little lanyard peg in the back if you want to put a lanyard on, but it's not going to be muddying up the scale of your knife or anything. It's a really great one. Nice, small, compact, but very, very usable. It's going to be tough enough for whatever jobs you're doing, but also slicey enough if you need to slice an apple or something for your lunch at work or whatever. And it goes at 2.75 ounces, I should say. So a nice lightweight piece as well, mostly thanks to this very heavy skeletonization that not only goes through the liners, but also through the scales. Kind of lightens the whole knife up. Next up from WE Knives, we have a very interesting one called the Collinear. I imagine it gets its name because it's a very linear looking design. It looks geometric, something that you could almost draw with a ruler and a protractor and a bit of trigonometric math out there to make it all work out. A very interesting looking knife. This one has a 3.7-inch blade of M390, weighs 3.7 ounces, and has one of the more interesting flippers I've seen in the world. So the flipper is this little piece right here that kind of has this knurled top to it, almost looks machinery oriented, and that'll flip the knife right open. And another interesting thing is the pocket clip. It looks like your standard milled deep carry pocket clip, but in reality, instead of mounting to the scale, it's drilled to the top here, and we'll see if we can catch this on camera. It's got the lanyard hole in the pocket clip, which I think is a really awesome place to put it because it's not gonna show anywhere really, but it's there if you want to wear a lanyard. But if you don't put it on there, you'll probably never notice it, and people around you probably won't either, which I think is a really cool thing. A nice clean knife, and notice how little hardware you're seeing around here. I wanna say the entire body is held together with these 2 screws back here and the pivot up here, giving you a very clean, engineered looking appearance. Very cool knife, and that one goes for $361.25. Next up, a very big boy. This one is called the Starlash, and it is quite the knife indeed. So we've got an M390 blade here, 4 inches long, a titanium handle with carbon fiber inlays. And this one's heavy, 6.72 ounces. It's big, it's bad, it wants to go to work. But the very interesting thing here is its lock. I would think that this would be a frame lock. When I picked it up, I thought it was. I was like, what the heck is going on? This is what they're calling the press lock. So this flipper tab here is actually how you actuate the lock. You press that in and it allows the knife to fold, which I think is so fascinating because that also is how you open it. So I know that with autos, one of my things is if it, like here, we have an auto right here actually. Sometimes there's knives where the button that opens it and the button that closes it are not the same, but the Kalashnikov is not that way. But this guy takes that same logic that the opener is also the closer and puts it to a manual folder, which I really appreciate. A very interesting mechanism, and I love to see that WE is cooking up a lot of interesting stuff in-house. This guy goes for $357 at bladehq.com. Next up from Sencut, we have the Glenspore. And this one is quite the interesting thing. Once again, a crossbar lock. And for its price, once again, $46.75, less than 50 bucks getting you a crossbar lock. And I will tell you, 5-6 years ago, you could only dream of this. Here in the live, we're going to be able to cut back to that thing. We'll be back.
I apologize because it's getting a really bad cutout sound.
Yeah, we got a really terrible cutout there. Sorry, everybody. So we're going to pretend we're going to start right from this point, and we're going to clip it all in the middle there. Next up, from Sencut, we have the Glen Sport, and this thing is just a really nice EDC knife. And once again, a crossbar lock coming out of the Wisavivi Sencut family, and this thing is $46.75. 5-6 years ago, you could only dream of a knife like this at that price, but here we are today. We have a 9CR18 MOV blade and a nice handle scale on this one. I want to say this one's like a shred carbon fiber, maybe a shred G10, but there's a few different flavors out there as well. Reversible deep carry pocket clip, just a great EDC knife. A 3.5-inch blade on this guy, and it sets you back at 3.53 ounces. So it's not super light, but it's also not super heavy either. But what I really appreciate is it feels solid in the hand. You have no bending or anything. It's just a great knife to carry, to use, and to cut with. And at a price of less than 50 bucks, brand new, no sale, nothing, you really can't go wrong. Next up from Kershaw, we have the well-loved Bel Air, but we have some new flavors of it. This one has the green micarta, which you've seen with the clip point, but now we have it on everybody's beloved Wharncliffe, reverse Tanto, what have you. And this one's a lot of fun. Same deep carry pocket clip you know and love, but just an absolute, almost perfect EDC knife. You cannot go wrong with the Bel Air. This thing's been incredibly popular since its release, and they're coming out with a flavor for everybody. In addition, we also have my personal favorite Bel Air to date is this purple aluminum one with the black MagnaCut blade. As always, these are fairly lightweight, 2.93 ounces, 3-inch blades, and $159.99. So not a bad price. 160 bucks getting you a USA-made knife with one of the best actions. Like, just look at this. Oh yes, that is what a smooth action should look and feel like, and it's just so good. And Kershaw's been killing it lately, and that is no exception with the live wire. So this is a new live wire which they are calling the Wampa White. So we have a white handle and then all these blue accents. So we have a blue coating on the blade. We have blue anodized titanium screws. We have a blue anodized pocket clip, and of course the blue slide on there. This thing just pops. And if you all know my coworker Sarah, this screams Sarah to me. It's just like, it's bright, it's colorful, it's out there, but it's still tasteful. And I think that Kershaw has been wise to bring all these fun colors to all of their favorite models and to make things cool and interesting. And I'm just really enjoying it. Also keeping in the fun colorways, we have Microtech, who has landed with the new Gen 4 Ultratech and UTX 85s. So the 85 is the 85% the size, or 50% smaller than the Ultratech. These are all in Gen 4. So these are not the ZBP ones. Those ones are going to cost quite a bit more because of the mechanism inside. These ones are actually really quite attainable in price. $342 for the Ultratech and $271 for the UTX 85. Still M390 MK, still dual fuel drivetrain with the crud cutters in there to keep it nice and smooth and clean no matter what you're doing. And then, yes, it's not zero blade play, but it's by no means a lot of blade play. Like you can hear, it really is not too much. It's not enough that it would bother me, but for less than 300 bucks on this UTX 85, that's pretty awesome for the quality you're getting from Microtech. And so we have 3.5 inches long on the Ultratech and then just a 3-inch blade on the UTX 85. It's gonna be easy to carry and fun to use, no matter how you're gonna use it. I love Microtech and the things they've been doing lately. Next up, we got a couple of sprint runs from Spyderco. Starting with this guy, this is the Micro Jimbo. And what the sprint run here is we have a carbon fiber and S90V handle blade combo. So it's a milled and peel plied carbon fiber here, and then the S90V. And that is a classic combination that you will see all over the knife industry. S90V and carbon fiber go together like peanut butter and jelly. Now this one is not gonna be around forever. So if you like it, I would act soon. It goes for $270, 2.5 inches on the blade and 3 ounces on the weight. And the other sprint run is the Bill Moran upswept fixed blade with the Damascus steel blade and this beautiful leather sheath. So for those of you who don't know, Bill Moran is the pioneer of Damascus steel in the United States. For the longest time, it was overseas, and that was it. But when Bill Moran decided he was gonna figure out how they were doing it, he made it in the United States, and now there are tons of forges making amazing Damascus. You're talking Devin Thomas, Vegas Forge, Chad Nichols, others. Just really great blades to be spoken for because of the Damascus steel and the pioneering trail that Bill Moran blazed. And now we have one of his designs with Damascus steel and a fairly light edge, so it's not gonna have any weird delamination properties. Just a great knife all the way around, and one that will not be around for long, and you can get yours for $375. 4 inches on the Damascus steel blade there. Next up, from Tour Knives, we have one of the more interesting knives, I guess? This is called the Snake Doctor. This is a solid G10 push dagger. So put it here and throw punches and cause harm to those who would cause it to you. But instead of a conventional sheath, they teamed up with Incog to make a wallet sheath for it. So you just put this thing in here, and I would recommend not flying with it. There's more than metal detectors between you and the plane, so they will probably catch this, they will probably confiscate it, and you will be sad. But other than that, it is an RFID blocking wallet. So whatever kind of stuff you need to carry, you can also carry along a Tour Knives Snake Doctor. And the wallet does come in a few different colors. We got tan, we got green, and we got all black everything. So whatever you're feeling, you can have with the Tour Snake Doctor and Incogni. And really not bad pricing on this guy too. This one goes for $95. USA made, veteran owned, not a bad deal. And then next up, we have the much anticipated Boker Kalashnikov comic series. And this is volume 1, issue 1. And this one we are calling the Gamma Fury. Now you'll know exactly what this is referencing. You got the smash, you got the purple and green. It's just fun. We love this thing. It has been announced a while ago, but it is finally landing this week. So if you want this guy, make sure to hop on that wish list and you can get it in your pocket this week. It goes for $79.85. D2 blade, automatic action. It's just so much fun. And then lastly, well, not quite lastly, we have a couple of things from Best Tech that are on sale. So Best Tech is another brand out there that is making really interesting designs from a lot of really respected designers at really great prices. And those great prices are even greater now. So first of all, this Syntax down here, $64.95, and then this Kendo is the real belle of the ball here. We got an S35VN blade and a full titanium handle for $140, $139.99. That is an absurd price for this kind of materials, especially with something of this size. So if you've always had your eye on a Best Tech, we've got a giant sale going on with them right now, and you should check it out. And then lastly, truly lastly, we have this guy. Holtzbrook is back, and they have a new line of axes. And this one's actually Brandon, my coworker's personal. This is a splitting maul, and it is a proper maul. We got a 32-inch handle and a nice, thick, 5-pound head, and this thing will divide asunder even the naughtiest of your hardwoods. Very nice indeed, but there's a whole lot from all the small hatchets to the hunter's axes to felling axes, whatever you're doing. There's an axe for it from the brand new Holtzbrook line. Check them out over at bladehq.com. Anyway, that is all the new knives, wallets, axes, and other fun, bizarre things that we have at Blade HQ on the table today, but there's a whole lot more over on New Arrivals. So head over there, check them out, and make sure you get your wish list building up because we've got the most amazing Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale you can imagine in the works right now. So make sure you're subscribed, join us in the next few weeks, and we'll see you next time. Except for everybody here in the live, who I have to reopen this computer for. I'm gonna step off. Sorry, you guys all disappeared there. Did I type the password in wrong? I totally did. There it goes. We're back. Whew. That was a lot of knives, everyone. Okay.
Good job, George.
Oh, why, thank you. Excitingly, it's the Yojimbo and Yojimbo in 15V. A lot of people want that. My son uses his axe every day. For what? Do you have like a lumberjack son? That'd be super cool. Yeah, good job. Well, thank you, everybody. What a great lineup. Yeah, we had a really great week this week. Sometimes we have like slower weeks and then everything gets dumped in a week. And I think we got one of those dumps this week, and it's very exciting. George, you see Benchmade airing commercials on national TV. I saw one during college football on Saturday. Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. I think there was an NFL commercial a couple of years ago as well. I know it's a slow rollout, but I know we've actually talked to them about like going in together on a billboard or something else. Like we've had ideas in the past, but it's fun to see that the knife community is growing to bigger audiences. It's a lot of fun. What's my favorite on the table? Ooh, I gotta say the Jack Wolf, the Moran, and the purple Bel Air. Those are gonna be my top three. And if I had to pick one, it'd probably be the Moran, just because Bill Moran's a cool dude, and I have a lot of respect for Spyderco, and they always make sure the details are to the nines. But yeah, it's really hard. There's a lot of good stuff here. Yeah, what's the big surprise there? I want to like the Bel Air, but the blade seems just a little too thin. So like I was saying earlier about the remix from WorkSharp, is MagnaCut's very tough. So like you gotta remember, it's steel at the end of the day, and it doesn't necessarily want to break. It's nice and strong. And if you don't believe me, go grab one of those like disposable razor blades, like the utility blades that they have a bunch of holders for nowadays, and just try and break one. It's not easy, and that's hardened tool steel, and that's not as tough as this, and that's also not as thick as this. So you've gotta work for it if you want to break this. And for most everyday carry cuts, it really does well. But once again, if that's not your speed, there's a ton of thicker knives out there too, even on the table. Like I want to say the live wire is a fair bit thicker, and that's an OTF. And there's the Launch series. In fact, the new Launch, I guess it's not really new anymore. The Launch 16 is my favorite of the launches, and it's a nice, thick piece of M4. Gareth, yes, you can get a look at this axe up close. It would be a lot of fun to try and get there. So we can't get you the whole thing, but I'll pull the sheath off. Spencer, you might need to walk me through this one, how we can get a good look at this guy for Gareth. Okay, my goodness, look at that mirror edge on that thing. Oh. Any idea if you'll carry the Squid Industry Surf? Probably. So Squid Industry is an interesting brand. They're a pretty small operation, and they are very, very sought after. They have a lot of industry clout, and like at the beginning of every blade show, you'll see people who are rope dropping and sprinting straight there. So once the rope droppers and sprinters get their surfs, I would imagine Blade HQ will get them, but we'll have to be patient. And I'm excited to see it. Is that Wampa a live wire reference to Star Wars? I really don't know. I know I look like a giant nerd, but I don't know Star Wars very well. I didn't even see the movies until 2023 is when I watched them all for the first time. Yep. All right, did we get a good look at it? Coolio. It's a bit hard to film a big ol' axe in the same video that you're filming a bunch of small knives. So we will continue to do our best, learning something new every day. Can you compare size between the Civivi Brazen and the Kershaw Iridium? Can you size compare? I don't have them handy, but I'm trying to remember what the Brazen sizing is. I'm sorry, I have a encyclopedia of knives in the head, but it's limited. It's not Wikipedia and Google Speeds. I guess an axe is now on my wish list. Axes are a bit of a rabbit hole, buddy. Before long, you're gonna say like, I probably need 3 or 4 axes in my life, when in reality, you probably could get away with just one and be just fine. Yes, axe has stealth. Yeah. All right. So I will tell you all, in a few minutes, we're going to be doing the giveaway. So the giveaway is for the Vosteed Psyop as well as the Vosteed Naga. So if you want in on this, you just have to be active in the chat. And you have to be 18 years or older in the United States of America. And what I'm going to tell you now, while you guys are getting active in the chat so you can enter, if you win, I am going to ask you to send us either an email or a DM on Instagram. And you need to let us know, once you've won, either tell us email or Instagram, and then we can move on. And hopefully, we can get that done high and tight. Just ask ChatGPT for size comparisons. I will tell you, in the knife world, ChatGPT has hallucinations out the wazoo. Like it made up a bug out that never existed for me the other day. So that's why I always write my articles. ChatGPT just checks for grammar and am I gonna offend somebody? Am I saying all this other stuff? But I do not trust its accuracy ratings. That is just me though. Yes, all right. Looks like people are getting active in the chat. Can we see the micarta Bel Air again? Yeah, average mountain biker. I'd love to show that one to you. Here you are, right there. Okay, raising that 3.5 inch and 8 overall length, George. Thanks, Matt Moorer. So that is probably going to be a little bit bigger than your Bel Air. Excuse me, than your Iridium. I want to say the Iridium is 3.4-ish. It's not going to be a whole lot bigger, but yeah. George, question about the Hulk Boker knife. Any worries about scratching off the coating? How strong is it? This is a painted coating. So that is sort of the lifeblood of the Boker Kalashnikov is its paint. So it's just, so I want to say it's like a screen printing here and then just a purple paint on this. It will fade with time. It gets some patina, some pocket wear. In my Boker Kalashnikov review, which you can check out on the blog at bladehq.com, just click on the knife blog thing and you search Kalashnikov review. That is one of the things I kind of dinged it for, is it doesn't hold up like anodization does. But it does provide you a basically infinite supply of color options and a great knife for just everyday usage, but it is not going to stay pretty and clear the whole time. Oof, it's like in the Desert Warriors, the button wears out first, especially if you're using your knife a lot, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. So the first one, let's do the Naga first. We'll save them. Oh, yes. I'll tell you, I don't know if Ricky's still here, but that guy is the king of tearing open boxes. Have you seen his stuff? Yes. Anyway, this one is the Vosted Naga, complete with a box torn by our Doug. And the winner, is... winner is
Matt Marr. Has he won recently?
I don't think the system would give it to him if he had. So Matt Moorer, congratulations. You've won this guy. Let us know, email or Instagram. Where should we look for your message? I feel like he has one in the past, but not recently. Yes. Yeah, let's see. Is Matt, we heard from him yet?
He's active, but he hasn't said email or...
Matt Moorer, email or Instagram. Please let us know. And this knife will be in the mail to you very soon.
He said email, and he did win a few months ago.
Okay, so 3 months is our stipulation, and I want to say that's what the bot has for it. So congratulations, Matt. You are a lucky, lucky man. There are many people who have not won any, but you've won 2 now. It's impressive. Wonder where Clavid is. He'd probably be giving it to us right now. Yep, all right, and next up, and the final giveaway of the day is this one. This is the Vosted Psyop 299 with the beautiful black micarta handle scales. And this one can be yours for the low, low price of free if your name is...
Michelle Nichols.
Michelle Nichols, or Michael Nichols? I don't know. Whoever that person is, who you're gonna see in the chat here in just a moment, congratulations, you have won the Vosted Psyop. Yeah, Michelle Nichols. It's Michelle. I couldn't see it earlier. Okay, let us know, email or Instagram, Michelle, and we'll get this one to you lickety split. Vosted is awesome. I am inclined to agree. All right. Have we heard from Michelle yet?
Not yet.
Matt Moorer is giving congratulations. Thanks, Matt. Class act of a guy right there.
Michelle just said that one's sick.
That one's sick. Awesome, Michelle.
Be on a little bit of a delay.
Let us know. Okay, I've had my eyes on a patio. Patio? Like a concrete pad in your backyard on which you host barbecues? I will tell you, a patio is a really nice thing to have. What's the wallet company name? Incog. I said I called it Incogni earlier because I was thinking about making a joke about we're sponsored by Incogni, but then I didn't quite separate the joke from reality. We are not sponsored by Incogni. No way, Michelle Nichols says there. Email or Instagram, Michelle, let us know. Email, perfect. All right, well, that's our giveaway all wrapped up high and tight. Congratulations to Michelle and to Matt. Congratulations, you've won really awesome knives. And thank you once again to Vosteed for sponsoring this video. Is that Vosteed Naga on sale on the site? I would assume it is, Rex. I could be wrong on that one. Would you prefer a CLXR or a Benchmade Osborne? Okay, this will be the last question I answer, I promise. The CLXR is big, it's beefy, and it's got a lot of jimping everywhere. It is one of the most aggressively jimped knives ever. Benchmade Osborne is a lot slimmer and more carryable. Like, honestly, if I had to compare a Benchmade to the CLXR, I would probably put like the Adamas in its category, like something big. So personally, I would carry the Osborne more often, but I would feel cooler when I'd carry the CLXR. That's what I got for you. Anyway, if you guys have any more burning questions, feel free to join us next week in the live and I will answer them for you. And other than that, we will see you next time.